what is the side effect and the symptom? The symptom is I've had this great immediate effect from alcohol. The next side effect is now I've got to deal with the symptoms of that decision for the next 4 to 5 days. And then there's an additional symptoms that I won't even feel that are long lasting.
Oh, yeah.
The difference is if I make a smart choice, so that night I decide I'm not going to drink, I eat clean, the symptoms are different. So my symptom is tomorrow morning, I don't have a hangover. I can work out.
Right.
I can now carry on doing the things that I fundamentally do. I feel better. These are the most important things is you're trying to have longevity in how you feel, not only immediately, but long term.
Yeah.
The stronger you are, the longer you live.
Oh, yeah.
Not to say that that it's going to put a timestamp on it, but as you age, stronger people age better.
Yeah.
And this is what we want. We want longevity in what we do.
Well, I was thinking about, like, I got out of shape, and to just get down on a knee to give my kids a bath, like, my body was hurting.
Oh, yeah.
And then the food that I ate made, like, I think about, like, Mexican food is, like, something my wife and I've always enjoyed. And you go eat, chips and salsa and queso and tacos, all the crap that's really good. But you eat that, and then you're chugging a lot of water, and you feel bloated and, like, total shit from that. Versus, like, I've now with the way I eat when I have my refeed, like, I could eat the big burger and fries and a bowl of ice cream, and I don't feel bad. Yeah. I don't feel like shit from that, because I know that when it hits my body, it's gonna get burned fast. Yes. And it's actually, like, half the time the next morning I wake up and I'm like
you feel great.
I look and feel great, right? And I think the reality for me is that if I make the right choices on a daily basis, I enjoy the process now. Yeah. I enjoy the process so much more because, like, let's use this example. This is what I was thinking about when you were talking. If I choose alcohol, and over time, I'm going to get a negative result out of alcohol. Yes. I'm going to have bad liver, pick an issue with hard drinking, whatever the story. So it's not going to be an overnight change with alcohol, and that's a negative thing I'm choosing to put into my body, right? But eventually it's going to take me down.
Yeah.
Well, why don't I make good choices and choose to work out and healthy lifestyle, to not drink alcohol, to not, like, consume things that are bad for me? I'm still going to have a longer term at play here. Like, it's a long-term thing. Well, don't you want a good outcome? And just simply not, like, I'm not sitting here telling people, don't go drink, you can't have alcohol, it's the worst thing. It is the worst thing, I do believe that, but, like, to me, in the end, if you choose to drink or you choose to consume alcohol, like, obviously, like, excessive alcohol is just, it's terrible.
It's as bad as excessive everything else, right?
Yeah, so, like, I don't know, and I think this kind of sets, like, in my mind, like, this really hits a point of, like our motivation versus discipline of what we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, if you're waiting for, like you talked about, like, I'm going to start on Monday. Mm-hmm. That to me is people saying I'm going to wait till the motivation happens.
Yes.
Right?
I'm waiting for the right time.
Yeah, and I said this in our previous episode. If you're waiting on the motivation to kick in, it's never going to kick in. Never. Like, you have to choose discipline, and then eventually the motivation, like 6 months, a year down the road, when the results start to happen, and seeing progress, right, like, occur, that's when that motivation will start to take over a little bit. But even then, there's days, like, you get up to work out, you're like, I just don't feel like doing it. Yeah. But you still do it.
Well, that's the discipline part, right? Because, and this again is part where whether you are heading into a new exercise program, mm-hmm. or you're starting a new business, or you're starting to date someone new, right? Mm-hmm. If you're single and you're dating someone, right? Or you're in a relationship with your spouse and you're kind of breaking everything down, right? You're thinking of your next vacation. Mm-hmm. What you're doing is you're setting a timestamp for a goal.
Yeah.
Right? Now, in one sense, goals are good, but in another sense, goals are a trap.
Yeah.
Because what happens is when you set a goal, it's a time difference. You're going, well, there it is. Now, what most people do, and this goes for business and the nutrition and exercise program, is I set a goal for down here, but what I'm forgetting is all the fundamental little pieces in between that I'm going to have to go through. The journey, right? The journey is the most important thing. The goal is just the symptom, the outcome of symptom. Yeah. It's just where you're going, right? It's a good, nice baseline to set for you, but realistically, it doesn't mean anything because it cannot be attained without following the journey. Yeah. And if you don't enjoy the journey, the goal will always be, I've had people who have competed who didn't enjoy the journey, and the competition was great, but they didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because if you can find joy in the journey,
100%.
and it becomes lifestyle, and this is even in business, and you can navigate day to day, right?
Well, I think like the whole gastric bypass surgery, like where like, and I have my extended family, people that I've known, place that where I grew up. You know, there's a lot of like folks that were overweight. I even knew some obese people.
Yep.
That had. I know of a few people that had the gastric bypass surgery.
Me too.
Okay. The problem with that is you're saying I'm going to go lose 100 pounds, but I'm going to use a surgery to help me achieve this goal.
Yeah.
But you never fixed any of the root causes.
That's a fair assertion, but let's break that down, because that's an interesting take. Because in one sense, gastric bypass for certain people who struggle with discipline, especially when it comes down to their health, fundamental health, hey, I'm all for it, right? However, as you say, is you do the surgery, but I don't change anything else, right? It's the same as someone who has type 2 diabetes, right? Type 1, there's nothing to do, it's genetic. Type 2 is directly related to diet.
Well, if I could interject, like, I would say I would support that surgery if for a year you changed your eating habits going into the surgery.
Well, funny enough is most people who go for the surgery have to lose weight to attempt the surgery. So depending on your weight level, you might actually have to lose 100 pounds before you can even go for the surgery. So again, you know, everybody has to make that choice for themselves. But what are you doing? It's you're doing what the pharmaceutical industry does. You're treating a symptom and not the cause.
Right.
So whether it's gastric bypass surgery, whether you have type 2 diabetes, essentially you have a root cause that you can fix. What it requires you to do is it requires you to give more of yourself and apply discipline. The problem is the amount of people that have negative side effects, because the minute that you take some sort of extensive surgery or extensive drug to manipulate your body into doing something that you don't have the discipline to do, what happens is it usually comes with an entire bag of side effects.
Yeah, for sure.
And the side effects is the part that people don't really focus on because they focus on weight loss. Ozempic is a good example, right? So Ozempic is a type 2 diabetes or a diabetes medication. What its side effect is, the side effect is dramatic weight loss, right? And every star that you see in Hollywood now that it's all of a sudden you've seen them go in shape, it's because they're on Ozempic, right? Now, Ozempic sounds great on the baseline, right? I take this drug takes away appetite, allows me to lose weight. But then you start reading the side effects of what it actually does. Ozempic from the majority eats up lean muscle tissue, tendon and ligament tissue, right? So what will happen is you get the Ozempic face where you see the lines in the face popping out because it's actually eating away the fundamental tissues in your body.
Right.
So there's a very big balancing act that people have to do, and women fall into this trap pretty easily because when we lose weight, right, and people on the gastric bypass, they focus on the weight, they focus on poundage, right, because in their mind is a result, but the result is kind of like, okay, well, I can lose 100 pounds, but did I lose 100 pounds of fat? How much muscle did I lose? Did I gain muscle at the same time?
Right.
Weight loss and health are not related, right? Because you get people who are extremely healthy, and it's the body mass index system, right? So based on the body mass index, you and me are morbidly obese, right?
Yep.
My body fat's under 10%.
I heard it every time in the army.
Right. Yeah. So now, am I morbidly obese? No, because that system is based on a very inaccurate metric.
Yep.
So now what happens is a lot of people focus on the scale. So they look at the scale and go, oh, I lost 10 pounds. Okay, but what did you lose? Did I lose fat? Did I lose muscle? Gastric bypass surgery. Basically, if you don't control your diet, you're going to lose a ton of muscle. You will lose fat as well, but you also you're becoming weaker.
Yeah.
Right. So it's very important for people to kind of assess the deals because society and, you know, the way the media portrays it is we'll say great to the person who lost weight. Well, they've done so well. Doesn't matter what the reasoning is. Right. But the same person picks up 20 pounds of muscle using steroids, he's evil. Right, just think about the contradictory. I'll have someone who goes and has gastric bypass surgery, loses 100 pounds. Right, all of a sudden they're 100 pounds lighter. They look, according to everybody, they look fantastic because obviously they're taking great pictures. Then you'll have a guy, let's say The Rock or some actually don't know, and he decides to take a course of anabolic steroids. He picks up 20, 30 pounds, and they find out that he took anabolic steroids. He's evil.
Yeah.
How dare he? He's cheating. What's he cheating on?
Yeah.
The causality of both is the same. It's the same as society puts certain drugs above other drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Smoking cigarettes is accepted in society, right? Alcohol is accepted, though there's no positive effect from it. Just the mortality rate on alcohol consumption is so goddamn high. But it's an accepted part of our society. But you can't smoke weed.
Yeah.
You can't take mushrooms. You can't take any other drug.
A plant
that's naturally occurring. But you can take this. Why is this important?
Yeah.
Choice.
Yeah.
Because you as an individual, you have to look at your choices, because those choices, as you mentioned, the gastric bypass surgery, you're taking a shortcut, which you could have made a choice to make a better decision for an outcome for yourself.
Well, and I want to share with listeners, like, what I believe is the recipe for success on anything you do is you have to come up with a daily set of non-negotiable tasks to accomplish each and every day consistently, whether that's through mind, body, spirit. We'll talk about at some point about like the 4 pillars that we both like. But every day, what's my main priorities or objectives that I need to do? We're all like entrepreneurs in business. Like there might be, like, let's use sales because it's an easy example. I need to make 10 sales calls a day or whatever the number is. Well, in my health and wellness, I need to follow my meal plan. I need to hit the weights. I need to do what my workout is, whatever that looks like. There's non-negotiables that you have to do each and every day, and those are core habits. And if you don't create core habits, when it comes time to order at the restaurant, at your business meeting, you're going to make a shitty choice. Because your default habit is, give me the burger and fries or whatever that shit meal is that you order. Because we all know you get talking in your business meeting and you forget to look at the menu. It comes your time to order and you order your default shit food. So create a habit that says, give me my default chicken and green beans or steak and green beans or whatever that is.
Now that's a good point, right? So you're creating the habits, you write down the fundamentals. But now what is the difference between applying discipline or applying motivation, right? So motivation is a short-lived burst of energy that you receive watching a video, listening to someone else talk, it's something that's externally motivating you and going, oh, I want to do that, right? It's like watching an ad for your sports team, or an ad for the Super Bowl coming up. It gets you revved up. It's watching a Ronnie Coleman video. I'm going to go work out right now. It's motivation, but it's short-lived. You still have to get to the gym. You still have to go do the workout. You have to cook the food. You have to apply the process. And that difference in discipline that I found, and I think it's a fundamental universal law, right? Discipline is doing the things you don't necessarily want to do. You don't have to do. There's no reward for you doing them, but you do them anyway because you realize that you have a personal internal goal you want to achieve. And you make those choices, and those choices will determine the outcome. And those choices, I can't sugarcoat this. Like, I'd love to be the guy that sits here and goes, you know what, everyone at home, if you just really believe, and you have your heart in it, that's fucking bullshit. If you want to achieve these things, every time that you sit and you want to bitch out and do something you're not supposed to do, have a fucking internal discussion with yourself. Look inside and go, fuck, what choice am I making? And fucking make the right one. Sometimes you're going to fuck it up. Get back on the horse, and the next time, do it better. And keep doing it, and keep doing that. Fundamentally, every fucking time that you think you're going to mess up, or you have messed up, don't beat yourself up. Look internally. Don't look at anyone else. Don't ask someone else. Don't tell someone you're going to go on a diet. Don't tell someone you're going to do something.
I agree with that.
Right? Be the shadow. Go back. Deal with yourself. Make those choices and hold yourself accountable. Don't tell your wife she must tell you not to eat it. Don't tell your buddies, hey, listen, if you see me doing this, like, show me. The only people that can hold you accountable is you. No one else is accountable for your actions. Every time you do it, man the fuck up. Suck it up. If you messed up, suck it up. I did it. Great. What's next? What's the next thing? Find, assess, reassess. Find, assess, reassess, and then keep making those choices. And as you do it, I've been the person who's fucking put my hand in the cookie jar and had a cookie when I shouldn't. I've done this many times. Take accountability, be better the next time. Sometimes you go up, sometimes you go down.
I mean, it's not like the food police aren't going to show up and arrest you because you took a cookie. However, like you got to recognize, like, yeah, it's not good for you, but like it was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Don't lie to yourself.
I'm not going to sit here and like be upset with the fact that I had a cookie. Well, guess what? I can be upset with the fact if I do it over and over again. Yes. The only person that's responsible for that is me.
Yes.
Nobody made me take it. Like, you know, it's the holidays, right? So a lot of people have families together, and there's like a lot of foods that come in.
Yeah.
Well, if you plan, like one of the things that we've done this many times, is if we know we're going to go to a party or somewhere that's probably going to have a bunch of food that's not necessarily going to fall within our wheelhouse of diet plan, we eat before we go.
Yeah.
And we eat big so that we don't get starved. We're not sitting there starved. And then if they have stuff there that we might be able to eat or snack on, we will.
And how did you come to this conclusion? So it didn't happen overnight.
No.
You obviously went through a process going, well, get to the party, I haven't eaten enough, so now I'm going to eat a whole bunch of things that I don't because I'm hungry. Right? And for anyone listening, if you're truly hungry, you should probably eat.
Yes.
Right? I'm the first guy to say, try and make good choices, but you should eat.
The mental aspect of being hungry when you're not eating well, like if you're not fasting, like it gets bad, it goes downhill fast. Like especially a lot of women are like that too. Like women really struggle. Men struggle too, but women I found have, at least in my wife, like if she's hangry as we call it, it's bad, right? Mental like, struggles are big, right?
And how long did it take you to go, right, this is my process. We're going out, we've got a kids party, we've got something to go to. How long did it take you to figure out what you need to do for you, and when did it start working?
Not long. I mean, that's
the question, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you just know, I guess, is that I've got to plan ahead in anything. Like, I think in nutrition in general.
Yeah.
Like if you wake up every day, like I can do it now because I've been doing it long enough that I instinctivly know what my choices are. But if you're just getting on track and you're just now trying to rebuild yourself, like if you don't plan ahead for your meals, like you're gonna fail.
Yes.
You just are. You got to plan to succeed, not plan to fail.
Yes.
So by not planning, you're failing.
Yeah.
So if you know that, like, all right, I'm gonna have whatever going on this week, whether it's a meeting, whether it's a kids party, whatever it looks like. If you plan ahead, like at a party they're gonna have shit food. Don't go in there without eating. It's like going to the grocery store hungry. You go to the grocery store hungry, you're going to buy all the crap because you're eating with the wrong eyes.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, like you have to be ahead of that. You have to plan to be successful and prep and eat some protein before you go, whatever that looks like for you in your meal plan. And and this goes back to what we're talking about, motivation versus discipline.
Choice.
It's choice. It's being disciplined. When I go somewhere it's like anything that we do, whether it's alcohol, whether it's bad food, you're planned ahead so that you're not going to make the bad choice.